Welcome back to another Warhammer 3 video here for today. We have good and bad news. Tied to Torment DLC has been delayed to September-ish, October, kind of later in the year. They haven't told us an exact date, but we do know it's delayed. Also, we have big news though. We know what the third faction is going to be, revealed at the end, and we know hints of what's going to be the next DLC. And they've also touted, I guess, it's going to be the largest DLC ever in the series. But I have a lot to say about that, and that'll be when we get to it. But as you see, it's not a very long post, so we are going to read it all, just so you guys can understand where they're coming from, and not just solely my opinion. So hey folks, we're delaying the release date of Total Warhammer 3 and the Tied to Torment from our previously stated summer release, and now intend to launch it later this year. We'll have an exact date for you once we finalize our revised plans, and we'll share details as soon as they're ready. We also want to let you know that our plans to release the final What's Next video in the series will also shift out to a future date. Again, which is sad, it's being delayed. I was very excited. I was waiting literally every day for news, and this is not the news I wanted to see, as you know. I want to talk to you all about how, now we're going to continue, my bad. Now I want to talk to you all about why we made this decision and what to expect in the expect months ahead. In recent playtesting, we asked ourselves if this DLC met the standards that we set in recent releases, and the short answer was no. However, we know it can, and so we can spend more time working on it, reviewing the content, and improving the gameplay experiences that has been set to bring. So again, if the DLC is better, like the last DLC, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I think is a little rough. I think the green skins, or orcs and goblins as they're called now, that really, they needed some more love. The other factions, they needed some of their own mechanics, and just, you know, it was good. I wouldn't say it was bad, but you know, just a little more love. But they do talk about that. They are gonna go back to orcs and goblins, which will be nice. Yeah, we're gonna continue reading again. These changes will likely mean the content we shared in our What's Next video for Slaanesh and Norska is no longer accurate, and as soon as we know the final shape of those changes, we will share them directly as part of the What's Next final video. Give you a complete picture of our third faction as the DLC changes to other factions. It's a little sad, like I said, but the fact that maybe some of the stuff they talked about, like for example, on Norska, they said that, oh, they wanted to work on like diplomacy, and they wanted him to be able to like get points like by betraying people and whatnot, and they were going to actually rework it, but in that video they said they couldn't. So hopefully with this, with the extra time they're going to get, maybe they'll rework diplomacy. They're already going to rework sieges. The AI is still being worked on. So as much as this is not a fun post to read, as we know it's delaying more content, it's a good one because they have set plans and they're going to be a lot more open to the community. But yeah, let's oh yeah, this as well. I'm also very excited. You guys have probably figured out who this is going to be by the thumbnail, but we'll talk about it at the end. And we're going to get back to it. We know this is disappointing news. 2025 has been a slower year for many of you in Warhammer communities, and we know we're not oblivious to that. We're proud of the updates we released to the game this year, but we know what you love the most about this game is the option to experience more of it, especially to the new gameplay styles offered by a new legendary lord, of all the unique units, and focus we give reworks and core game improvements. Again, as long as it's up to par, as long as it's a little bit better than the last DLC, at least all the factions feel a bit more equal than just like one or two getting the most love, that would be very nice. And we're going to continue again. Whilst the game is in a better space than in previous years thanks to our efforts we made through 2024, we're currently not meeting our commitments to be more active on these fronts, and we apologize for not being more transparent. In the next few months, we plan on addressing that, and here's what to expect. Oh no, what did I do? Ignore that. I just clicked the wrong button. Oops. Okay, back to it. So, right here, meeting our commitments to be more active on these fronts, and we apologize for not being more transparent. So I think that's super big. Very rarely does the company just say, we apologize for not being more transparent. And remember 2 years ago with the Shadows of Change, it was so bad. The radio silence. But now it kind of seems that they really want to try, because it's such a beloved game at this point. It's going on almost 10 years. You gotta, there's a lot of people who really like this stuff. And for it to feel like it's going to get abandoned is very worrisome. And they do bring that up in this post. So it's a short post, but this might be a long video because there's just so much to talk about. But yeah, let's continue reading before we start talking about everything in it. So July, siege improvements are coming to the proving grounds and will enter public testing towards the end of the month. Ahead of its release, we'll share details on what's being changed and what we're testing for. and the process on how we'll handle your feedback before integrating changes in the main game. So just like before, just like the AI thing that they're still doing, there's going to be a proving grounds. So you go into your Steam and your properties, and you just click on it. I'll make a video once it comes out, just like I did with the AI. But yeah, this is super big. To be honest, my thing is like maybe limit how many ladders everybody gets. Like that's like the easiest way, really. But yeah, we'll talk about that at the end, of course. Now we got August. Update 6.3 is bringing some overdue quality improvements to the Tomb Kings and Lizardmen and revisions to generic starting traits. We'll also revisit some of the skills used by generic orcs and goblin characters to help refresh those more to modern standard. Like I said before, I'm glad that it's not just, okay, their DLC came out, we're going to focus on just everybody else now. I like they're like, hey, people want to still play this or do this. So that's super big. Again, Tomb Kings and Lizardmen. I, again, don't expect DLC for them, especially the Lizardmen since they have so many lords, but hopefully I'm wrong. But them doing this is big because I don't see big DLC updates coming for them anytime soon, at least. But yeah, let's continue. All of this will be paired with the usual host of minor gameplay fixes, bug squashing, and a battle balance for folks playing multiplayer. They love balancing multiplayer, don't they? That's their favorite thing to do. Everyone loves that. You guys let me know down below. Is there a lot of multiplayer battles? I know there's a lot of campaign, but I don't know. I don't play multiplayer. But yeah, I guess that's a big thing they always do. Every update. Always this is checked off. And we're gonna continue now. August will see the release of newly recorded What's Next video focused on our third faction for Tides of Torment, where you'll hear directly from our developers on what to expect, as well as updates and changes and revisions that we made to Slaanesh and Norska since publishing our earlier videos in the series. So that's a little odd. Well, I guess expected though. So anything in the before videos, kind of just like I said with the diplomacy, maybe they'll do that. Cross my fingers. Maybe we'll get it. But also like making the summon for the legendary lord for Norska an actual hero. I know then it would be 2 legendary heroes because they didn't show us who it was still. But you know what I'm saying. They could be nice since they're delaying it. And now we have September. We're saving space in September for necessary hotfixes following August's release of 6.3. Otherwise, our total focus will be on Tides of Torment from here on out. We won't have any major updates planned for release in September. We'll be staying on the emergency issues to get to work on 7.0. So I think 100% it comes out like mid-October, end October. Because it says they're saving space in September, which means all the stuff they're going to add and like do in the next couple months, especially I think the Siege is probably what they're going to be working on a lot. And then they're going to like, all hands on deck for the DLC. When they do the 3-week or 28-day cycle. And then we have the last big paragraph, or paragraphs, I mean. On topic of the road ahead, we also want to acknowledge the growing conversation we've seen about the game's future beyond Tides of Torment. We've seen a few folks asking for specific characters that might not fit in any of our current DLC formats. So we're exploring how we might introduce a smaller style type of DLC that brings a single legendary lord or hero unit alongside a few favorite additions. We're working on how these would fit with our schedules, and we have a good idea for who the first one could be, and she's someone near and dear to your blood. I don't know how to say her name, but I guess she's a big, like, but a big character in Warhammer. It's like Neferata, I think is her name. Again, let me know down below if I'm wrong. I'm not a lore nerd. I just play the game. But yeah, that's big news. I didn't think they were going to get any, like, the undead, vampire counts, get any DLC updates until, like, the big final one, which they do bring up right now, which we will talk about. Right now, our Total Warhammer teams are singularly focused on Tides of Torment, so we'll be keeping all of our attention where it needs to be, and we'll speak more on the possible topic of smaller DLC later in the year. Next year, we'll return with one of the biggest Total Warhammer content packs ever created in the trilogy, alongside some free content. You'll get to see some of this and early as part of this, nice and early as part of this year's 25th anniversary showcase. Super big. But we're going to talk about how this very much worries me. Like the biggest one in all. Yeah, we're going to bring this up in just a second. But let's hammer this out. To ensure that our journey will take you through the next chapter of the series is smoother and that are more present in our communities, please look for a return of live streams on Twitch and YouTube, alongside the plenty of 25th anniversary celebration events. We're bringing back community live streams on a regular weekly schedule, so you'll have one-stop space for all. My bad, guys. for us all to get together and update what's happening across Total War. I don't know why I butchered that so bad. My bad, guys. But that's super big, though. Community live streams on a regular weekly schedule, they're going to be better than me at doing them, dude. But that's big. I think growing the community is, like, that's what we have to do. So many people are into Warhammer now. They just got to understand. They just got to find the game is all. But yeah, then we're gonna hammer this out. This is my favorite thing right here. We want to apologize again for this the disappointment of today's news, but I hope you'll get forward to a brighter road ahead. Again, this is not a fun post or the saddest post, as they do tell us a few things that we did not know. And here we go. Here's the end bit. And the third faction for Tide of Torment is High Elves, led by Sea Lord Aslan. And yes, we're very excited to show you more of that soon. So hyped. I have been begging for more DLC for High Elves since I got the game like 7 years ago. Not like 7 years ago, like 5 years ago. Like Warhammer 2 era, that's what got me into the game. So hyped. It's been so long. I've never been around for a DLC to come out while I played for the High Elves. So I'm very excited. I'm going to play every Lord probably in a stream. But yeah, by Adam Freeman, head of the community. So props to them. They're being very transparent. They could just not have said anything and then been like, oh yeah, we're delaying it, and then not told us any of this stuff. But I like that there's definitely a ground that they're working on. Sad news. Some news, like I said, really, really worries me. Where is it? Right here. Next year we will return with one of the biggest Total War Hammer content packs ever created in the trilogy. That worries the shit out of me. To me, I wouldn't be worried if it's Dogs of War, only because I've read up a little bit about them, and I think that would make sense. But if it's gonna, when they say biggest, I think they would do like Dogs of War, but the units would be, you can cross them over because they're a mercenary faction. So like the ogres will get some more. They've already shown the orcs and goblins. The Regiment Renown is a mercenary unit, and you can get them as the ogre faction. So that's big to me. So that's my theory crafting. I'm gonna call it now. It's Dogs of War. So when they say biggest, they really mean everyone. There's gonna be like a bunch of units, like a lot, probably as many as they can pack in, and it's gonna be everyone's gonna be able to use it. So like maybe I don't know much about Dogs of War, but that makes me. But you got to think too. They want to do like an End Times DLC. We all know that. It's like they're gonna be their final big like pot of gold at the end of the series. So this could be like the Dogs of War thing. Could be like the good guys, quotation marks, get a bunch of units, because the orcs and goblins probably be part of some of the mercenary. So all like the neutral / good guys would get a bunch, and then the next big one, or maybe be like back to 3. It would be all like the bad factions. But I don't know. This is just theory crafting. This could be anything. Let me know down below what you think this would be. I'm really curious if you guys know or can think of any big lore bits you know of that this would be like alluding to besides End Time. It could be End Time DLC. But if it is, that'd be pretty sad, because I don't think we'd get more after it, right? End Times it's the whole name. There's no more. I don't know. Maybe they'll continue it. They're like, nah. Well, the world never blew up. Just all these characters showed up anyway. That'd be pretty cool. But we never know. So yeah, this is a pretty sad video though. This getting delayed. But I think there's some light at the end of the tunnel. I don't think we should all be Debbie Dowdy. Because imagine if it did come out, and if they're saying it didn't meet their standards, or they probably weren't going to get some stuff done by the time it came out. I would rather it be delayed, because it's already been this long. It's like that one meme. I can wait another 8 months as long as it's good, because you got to think a lot of these factions aren't going to get DLC again. Like Slaanesh, Norsca, and High Elves, 110%. I'm throwing this down. Besides maybe like Slaanesh getting units, or like something like Free Lord, they're not getting anything else. Because we just know the game's not gonna last forever, so you gotta pick and choose your battles. The High Elves, I'm hyped. It's not the Dark Elves, I know, but the High Elves are still my number one. So to them, to me, I'm fine with it. I was not, like I said, not the biggest fans of how they did the Orcs and Goblins last DLC. So they gotta pull off my High Elves are the best. I just hope they give some of the few characters some special traits or whatever. You know what I mean? Special mechanics, I mean. Or a cool mod. I really hope they're looking at, because we do know they look at mods. It's like the Chaos Dwarf Tower system. The High Elves can just get it. I think that works really well with them. Because if we can give everybody the convoy system, we can give everybody that. Like, that fits with so many factions, and I'm fine with it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. I don't know. Oh yeah, I know I said I got the Tomb Kings and Lizardmen are getting stuff. There's a lot packed into this for this being such a small one. Like, usually, like, the 2 last ones were just all numbers. Like, all the item stuff. Like, that was a really long one. But yeah, Tomb Kings and Lizardmen, very excited. I hope they get, like I said, they're probably going to give them some abilities because they're all the same besides, like, them on the battlefield themselves. Their campaigns aren't that very different. Besides, like, you know, some of the DLC ones. I'm glad Orcs and Goblins are being looked at. And something, too, I want to talk about before we end. Where is it? They're going to be doing... I probably missed it. I think it's above. Where they talk about what the, like, single units. So basically they're going to be doing, like, Legendary Lords packs, which is something everybody's been wanting. Like, 100, like, I've been hearing about that ever since I started playing this game. Everyone's like, well, I kind of want to do, like, here it is. Yeah, right here. Introduce smaller style DLC that brings a single Legendary Lord or hero unit alongside few favorite editions. I don't know what that means. I hope that means, like, a unit or 2, because I really like units still. Like, as much as I like the lords, I love flavored armies. So, I hope it's, like, a unit or 2. Like, that'd be fine. If it didn't have any units, that would kind of hurt. But they do say single. So, I don't know. And yeah, this too right here. So, that, I don't know what that could mean. That means that she could be far away. But this means no matter what, she's coming. So that's pretty cool. I know people are very hyped. I hear her all the time on the Reddit. But yeah, this is big. So at least we know what's going on. High Elves are coming. Praise the Asir. Super excited. I'm not hyped. Maybe I hope they prove me wrong. I'm a warrior that the biggest content ever. I'm gonna tell you this now. If this is the biggest one, and they're kind of having problems doing the 3, and they think that's their standard, it's not coming out. No joke. I would say 2026 December. And that would be the earliest. I know that sounds like insane, but this DLC's taking forever. This is almost gonna take a year. So to me, at the earliest, you get it in December 2026. But yeah, that's my opinion. I hope they prove me wrong. I hope it's the best thing ever. I hope everybody plays it. No, what I always say, give us another 10 years. They can make it happen. You can give us Age of Sigmar when we're like 60. Keep it going. 100 years. Warhammer. Never end. But yeah, super excited. It is kind of a sad post, but like I said before, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We got Siege reworks coming very soon. They're going to be proving grounds, but you'll still be able to play them. I'm excited to see what all the quality life stuff's going to be. And yeah, all the videos, the live streams are coming back. There's a bunch of stuff that we're going to start doing. Hopefully, with them doing more stuff, the channel will do more stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in so much. We had a bunch of news for such a small post. Thank you for hearing me rant so much, because I just love this game. But yeah, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the future.